Okay, we're here with Coach Hoiberg. I'll start with questions. I'll start with Chris Basnett.
Fred, obviously a historic night for Teddy, but guessing that doesn't mean a whole lot for the guys after the outcome of that game.
Yeah, just, Chris, it all came down to too many turnovers and offensive rebounds. And when you allow the other team to have 14 extra shots on goal and, they shot more free throws than we did as well, it's going to be tough to win. And, they scored 25 points off our turnovers. That's just, put your transition defense in a bind, in a really tough position, especially the careless ones that turn into pick sixes. And that's what I thought a lot of those were. I didn't think our cutting was as good as it had been. Teddy was phenomenal, kept us in it that first half with a 28-point half. And then I thought he really made good plays when they started blitzing him and some really good rim rolls by Derek to get to the rim and fighting all the way back. I thought our urgency, got to the point where it needed to be in those last 10 minutes when they got up double digits. And we fought all the way back, got the lead. Watched the last possession, had three options on it. Trey coming off. I thought he had a pretty good look at the basket. We had a hammer screen on the other end and then a crackback on Teddy on the strong side, which I think, looked like he had a pretty good chance of being open. But I thought Trey had a good look at it. Unfortunately, didn't go down.
Robin Watchett.
You mentioned the careless turnovers. I guess what was your evaluation of just some of the mental mistakes, unforced errors that, seemed to be a little more glaring tonight than in previous games?
Yeah, especially defensively, I thought in that first half we weren't getting matched up at all. And, we talked about this being a transition team and you have to close with their shooters. And we'd have two guys running with the same guy or, Buddy running down the floor as opposed to getting back and getting the basket covered. And that's what got them into rhythm. And, you look at the percentages, they shoot 40, we shoot 53, I believe it was, but, they just had way too many extra possessions, mental mistakes, as you said, with, throwing the ball right to them. And then, a couple of the, reverting back to what we were, dribbling in the crowd and dribbling in the pile. So, offensively, to shoot those percentages, which it's been a while, I think going back before the shutdown with Michigan State and Illinois, I think we were Indiana, we were up around those percentages. So it was good to see that ball, going through the hoop, and I thought our spacing and cutting got really good in those last 10 minutes. Unfortunately, we just couldn't string enough good stops together, and when we did get a stop, we couldn't get the rebound.
Sam McEwen.
Fred, you've seen a lot of college games. How well did Teddy play tonight? What did you particularly appreciate about his unselfishness, in the last half of that second half when he probably could have got the scoring record? He fell 1 point short of it, but he kept dishing the ball to Derek.
Yeah, I thought that was the most impressive thing about it, Sam, was just his all-around game. He went out and made the right play. He had 8 rebounds, he had 6 assists. 4 turnovers was too many, but I really thought Teddy played, when you score 41 and have 6 assists, that's a really hard thing to do in a college game. And again, to go back there and help on those rebounds. I thought he went back and had a rebound in a crowd when they got up 10, and I thought that's what kind of got us going. And then I think he came down, hit a 3, and then we just slowly chipped away. But that's what we were looking for, an effort play to try to string some stops together to get us going. But yeah, he was really complete out there tonight, Sam, and it was fun to see him get it going like that. And like you said, unfortunately we couldn't get the win with the historic night that he had.
Connor Happer.
What did you think about the defensive effort tonight?
It wasn't good enough. Again, transition, we got exposed early in the game. I just didn't think the urgency was where it needed to be to win a Big Ten game in that first half. They were too comfortable out there, and a lot of it was just transition. We just talk all the time about communication. We're one of the best talking teams on the sideline. You can hear it, the chants, all that stuff, but when we get to the floor, for whatever reason, we have stretches where we don't say anything to each other, and that's where it starts in transition. You got to get back, you got to get the ball stopped, you got to get the basket covered. As Doc always says, you don't have a man in transition, you match up, and we just couldn't get matched, and that's where they got their rhythm, that's where they got their flow going, and it just turned into a shootout in that first half. The toughness plays, the 50-50 balls, they got most of them, pretty much all of them in the first half. Last 10 minutes, I thought the urgency was so much better. We just couldn't secure the ball and get the rebound. But, we'll go back and watch it. And again, just keep trying to teach throughout this stretch. That's the one thing we have to keep doing. It'll be a lot of film sessions. We will have a light practice tomorrow before we get on the plane and head to Champaign.
Sam McEwen?
Was there anything up with Banton tonight? He played 13 minutes. Why didn't he play more?
Yeah, again, Sam, I think I've pretty much shown and proven that the guys that I feel give us the best chance to win the game are the ones that are going to be on the floor. And, I felt that group that was out there at the end, kind of flipping between Lat and Kobe. Thor's playing really good basketball for us right now. And just, I felt he had to be on the floor just with all the little things that he does and, hit a couple big shots where Teddy, hit him in the corner. I thought Trey, second half, I thought he played really well. And then obviously Derek had to be on the floor as well. So, I just went with the guys that I felt gave us the best chance to win.
Is Banton in kind of a funk here the last couple of games?
Well, again, it just got to do everything we can to get him going. And, he's an important part of this team. He's an important part of what we do. I didn't think our pace was very good early. We wanted whoever Wheeler wasn't guarding was the guy that was going to bring the ball up the floor. But, we'll try to get him going in the next one. He's, as I said, when he plays well, we're in the game. But I had other guys out there that I thought played very good basketball tonight, and that's why they were on the floor.
Kevin Stubbe?
Coach, obviously Teddy was the focus tonight, but Trey had a pretty good bounce-back game. I think his highest point total since January. Do you think that'll provide a confidence booster for him and the team going forward?
I think so. I thought Trey played really well in the last game as well against Purdue. I thought he, especially in that first half, he had a couple shots. I thought he played within himself. He wasn't forcing as much as he had the previous couple games with some high turnover games. Just the one shot he took, the step back, when the guy went under with his momentum going backwards, that was the one we'd certainly like that possession over. But, I agree with you. I thought Trey, 4 turnovers is too much, but, I thought he was really good in that second half.
Any questions for Coach? Seeing none, they'll end their press conference. We'll have Teddy shortly.
Thank you.
I'll start with questions. Robin Walshett.
Teddy, obviously a pretty stellar individual performance, but for you, what does 41 points mean if it doesn't come in a victory?
It don't mean nothing. We came up short.
I guess Coach was talking about some of the mental errors on both ends of the floor that were happening all night. I guess what did you see out there in terms of just the focus and execution and why those errors happened at such a high rate tonight?
Just, I don't know, just lack of focus maybe. I don't know. Just, people just make mistakes sometimes, but the team that limits those the most wins. And we had stretches of the game where we just made too many mistakes, myself included. I had way too many turnovers. I think I had 4 turnovers, so that's not going to get the job done. Got to get better. Got to be better.
Jacob Padilla.
Obviously, you had the big first half. How did Penn State adjust and start throwing different looks at you in the second half? I know you hit Derek a few times, hit some guys on some rolls and things like that.
I think they just had guys stop me before I got to the rim. Like most of the time in the first half, after I got by one guy, there was nobody else there. But this time there was in the second half, so just tried to find my teammates.
Sam McEwen.
Hey, Teddy, how quickly did you know that you had a chance at a really good scoring game tonight? How quickly did you feel that?
I mean, I feel the same way every game. It's just the ball finds you in different ways sometimes, some nights. And, I just kind of took the same approach as always.
Do you know how close you were to the school scoring record? Do you know at this moment?
Nah.
So you were the school record is 42 points, and you got to 41. There were a number of opportunities in that second half, and I know you didn't know, where you could have scored, and you decided to pass it to Derek. And one thing Coach Hoiberg said is he was most impressed with that. When you think about maybe how you played the back half of that second half with a lot of assists to Derek, is that how do you feel about that in terms of your game, and do you feel like that's an area that you've grown in since maybe even coming to Nebraska?
I mean, I think I'm a playmaker. I just feel I just try to score the ball, but I feel like if I have the ball enough amount of the times, I'll make plays like that. So it's just a matter of, like I said, how the game presents itself.
Any other questions for Teddy from the group? If you do so, put them in the chat.
Can I ask another question,
Yep, Sam, go
or
ahead.
does someone else have one?
Sam, go ahead.